Today, the ceasefire in Gaza has apparently finally gone into effect after both Israel and Hamas agreed to phase one of the peace plan outlined by the Trump administration. That's good. That's all good. But there was a little wrinkle, and we've all been waiting for the wrinkles, possible developments that could upset this entire thing. And I feel sure that those are gonna happen probably over the weekend. But it's not that. Deal's not off. But previously, Trump had been very clear that under no circumstances are American soldiers gonna be deployed on the ground in the Middle East. And that didn't even last 1 year, because now 200 American troops are being sent to Israel. So yesterday, not going to the Middle East. Today, Israel, but not Gaza. So don't worry, they're not gonna go hunting down Hamas as of today anyway. But American officials said that the US Central Command, led by Admiral Brad Cooper, will establish a civil military coordination center in Israel to provide security and humanitarian support. The goal of that center will be to establish a hub for military, political, and aid experts to help coordinate everything from humanitarian assistance to security support and the execution of the ceasefire agreement. And there's a couple interesting things about that. First of all, so could we not have been involved in all of this humanitarian stuff before? Why only now? That seems a little bit strange. Also,
I'm gonna explain that one.
Thank you, that's helpful. 200 soldiers, but they're not going in. No guns, no combat, just in this big fancy building for aid. And I hope that that is the case. They're apparently gonna be mostly military planners and specialists in logistics, security, and other support fields. So, it's not Black Hawk helicopters flying over Gaza or anything. That remains just a thing of American cities for now. But they are gonna be there. And that feels like kind of a line being crossed. What do you think?
Yeah, well, I'm a little worried about it not being much of America first. But hold on, there's two very countervailing forces here. One upside for them going, which is the explanation I'm gonna give you in a second. One significant potential downside. Okay, so why are they going now as opposed to before? I believe they're going to coordinate with the Arab countries who might be helping to run Gaza. Before, there were no Arab countries running Gaza, so they didn't need coordination. But wait a minute, why do they need Americans to coordinate those countries? Because those countries rightfully don't trust Israel at all. So if they had to just coordinate with Israel, they'd be like, all right, do we all need pagers? What do we need? Like, when are we gonna get murdered, right? So they kind of need the Americans as a buffer to say, hey, don't worry, the Israelis are not going to surprise murder you. And instead you can coordinate with us. And we actually are trying to make this peace deal happen. So if that is the reason why they're going, then at least that's an excellent reason. And I can see why, like, all right, I don't like it. I don't want ground troops at all.
Yeah.
Okay, but okay, I can see at least the rationale. Now, the downsides. Number one, the minute you start ground troops, you know what happens. Well, they're unarmed, they're advisors. Oh, well, they're armed. Well, there was 200, now there's 2,000. Once you get to 2,000, it's over. Then 20,000, 200,000, and off we go. So that's problem number one. Problem number two is they better come home alive, because the problem with Israel is like, oh, the Hamas and the Palestinians killed some American troops that were sitting right next to Mossad's headquarters. And now you all Americans must hate the Arabs and kill them all and give us their land, right? So I'm super worried about that, because if any of them are harmed, 1,000% that no matter who did it, Israel's gonna say it was the Palestinians, right? And would I believe them? No, absolutely not. They've done nothing but lie, right? So I'm super worried about that. By the way, I'll say something, and I don't care what anybody thinks of it. Trump's gonna go to Israel, he better come back home alive. So I don't want to hear anything about, oh, the dirty Arabs did it, oh, the violent, horrible, monstrous Palestinians did it, right? Because he made Israel sign this peace deal. This peace deal, as we've talked about, has upsides and downsides, right? But Netanyahu didn't want to do it. Now Trump is going over there. There's going to be no excuses.
And that's to flip MAGA to be in support. Look, I think that's a couple steps too far, but it's an exciting premise.
No. Look, very, very, very unlikely. That would be the most mental thing in the world, right? But if you're saying, well, Cenk, how dare you? Israel would never even think of, come on guys. Really, after this late date, Israel would never think of an underhanded tactic to drive America into further war on their behalf? Okay, well, if you're in that camp and you still think Israel's like has rainbows and unicorns shooting out of its ass, that's okay, then I can't help you, right? But I think they're one of the most nefarious governments, this current government, on planet Earth and maybe in my lifetime. So, and if they don't get that all the troops, Trump, everybody has to come back home safe, oh my God, the fury would be unparalleled.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying.
That's small world, because I also, in my big rant about this yesterday, I also made reference to unicorns.
Every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets his wings. Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our live shows.